Ram, Patita Pavana Sita Ram, Raghupati Ram, Patita Pavana Sita Ram, Raghupati Ram, Patita Pavana Sita Ram.
Shikare,
Shukara Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Bhavakara Kamalavare, Naham Adhuta Shringa, Bhavakara Kamalavare, Naham Adhuta Shringa, Lalita Hiranyakashipu, Manu Ringa, Lalita Hiranyakashipu, Manu Ringa, Deshavadita Marahagi Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Deshavadita Marahagi Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Chalayasi Pramani, Valiha, Uttavamana, Chalayasi Pramani, Valiha, Uttavamana, Vadana Kanira Janika, Janapa, Vadana Kanira Janika, Janapa, Deshavadita Vamana Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Deshavadita Vamana Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Kshatriya Rupi Ramaye, Jagana Bhagata Pavana, Kshatriya Rupi Ramaye, Jagana Bhagata Pavana, Snapayasi Payasi Samhita, Bhavata, Snapayasi Payasi Samhita, Bhavata, Deshavadita Vigupati Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Pashugana Swadaya Hridaya Pashina Pashugana Deshavadita Udha Sharira Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha Deshavadita Udha Sharira Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha So, this sutra, Dasavatar Sutra, well, Srila Prabhupada said that we should sing this on the appearance days of these acharyas, these, not acharyas, these incarnations. So today, we are celebrating the incarnation of Lord Rama. He is described in the 7th verse. Right? We sang it just now. Says, O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of Ramachandra. All glories unto you. In the battle of Lanka, Sri Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravana, and you distributed his 10 heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions. So now we know there are deities in charge of each direction. East, west, north, south, up, down. What's the other two? 10 directions. Says these deities are headed by Indra, Lord Indra, and this action, the killing of Ravana by Lord Ram, was long desired by all of them because they were very much harassed by this monster. he used to really give trouble to the demigods. So they prayed to Vishnu, please, can you get rid of this guy? He was so powerful that he could travel to the heavenly planet, terrorize the demigod. And they didn't know what to do. They couldn't defeat him. But he made one big mistake. He kidnapped Lord Ramachandra's wife, Sita Devi. And that brought about his ruin. Lord Ramachandra killed him. He offered. This demon had 10 heads. I don't know how he got 10 heads. He probably got an addiction from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gives benedictions easily. His name is Asutosh. He's very easily pleased, Lord Shiva, but he's also very easily displeased. And Prabhupada once said that he's always meditating on Krishna. And you don't like to be disturbed. It's like meditation. If you're chanting japa, if you see another devotee chanting japa, you shouldn't disturb him. Whatever it is you have to say, you tell him after. Because he's meditating on the Lord, chanting the holy names. So Lord Shiva, you've seen there's many posters, pictures of him sitting like this in a lotus position. Who's he meditating on? Meditating on Krishna. He knows Krishna is the Supreme. Many people who are worshippers of Lord Shiva, well, people who worship demigod, they think he is the Supreme. But they never ask the question, but if he's Supreme, why is he meditating and who is he meditating on? So, when people, he doesn't like to be disturbed, so he just does whatever he wants, take it. He gives his benediction easily. There's a nice pastime Prabhupada tells in the Krishna book. There's a demon named Vrikasura. He was worshipping Lord Shiva and he wanted the benediction that anybody's head he touched would crack, you'd be killed. You just touch your head. What a benediction you're looking for. Demons are like that. So you get it, and you came with the benediction. He meant to try to kill Krishna or Vishnu. Krishna, what are you doing? He says, I got this benediction from Lord Shiva. Anybody's head I touch, and Vishnu tricked him. He said, how do you know it works? How do you know that benediction really works? Lord Shiva could be cheating you. Why don't you touch your own head and see if it works? And the idiot demon touched his head and he died. But Krishna told Lord Shiva, you gotta start giving out these benedictions, these demons. So this is Ravana at 10 heads. So this action was long desired by the demigods. And at the very end, on the 11th verse we sang, Shri Jayadeva Kavirjan, the poet Jayadev Goswami, he gives a benediction to devotees, anyone who chants this stotra or recites, "Oh Lord of the universe, Lord Hari, you have assumed these 10 different forms of incarnations. All glories unto you. O readers, or listeners, please hear this hymn by the poet Jayadeva, which is a most excellent awarder of happiness, a bestower of auspiciousness, and is the best thing in this dark world. This prayer, best thing." So, I didn't read all the other translations of all the other incarnations, but there's a summary of them, which we didn't sing. In the 12th verse, it's in a different meter. It wouldn't go with the chanting, it wouldn't go with that tune. But the meaning is, O Lord Kesha, O Lord Krishna, these are all incarnations of Krishna. I offer my obeisances unto you. You appeared in the form of these 10 incarnations. In the form of Matsya, that's the first mantra. He appeared in the form of a fish, not an ordinary fish. It says, you appeared in the form of Matsya avatar, and you rescued the Vedas. As a Kurma, incarnation of the tortoise, you bear the Mandara mounting on your back. As Varaha, you lifted the earth with your tusk. You appeared as a boar, wild hog. You lifted the earth with your tusk. And in the form of Narasingha, half man, half lion, you tore open the chest of the Daitya, the demon, Hiranyakashipu, to protect your devotee Prahlad. Then, in the form of Vamana, you tricked the demon king, Daitya. He said Daitya. Daitya means demon. Prahlad is known as the best of the Daityas. He's born in a family of demons, but he's a great devotee. So he said, as in the form of Vamana. Vamana is the dwarf. Krishna even appears as a dwarf. You tricked the Daitya king Bali by asking him for only 3 steps of land, and then you took away the whole universe from him by expanding your steps. He asked for 3 steps, and Bali Maharaj said, "Is that all you want? 3 steps? 3 steps?" He said, if a man isn't satisfied with 3 steps, he'll never be satisfied with the whole world. So, okay, that's what you want, 3 steps. And he did Achman and told him, okay, you take it 3 steps. And Lord Vamana, as a dwarf, he covered the whole universe in 2 steps. There's a nice painting by one of the devotees. His legs expand. And he covered the whole universe, so there was nowhere else to step. And Lord Vamana, in the form of the dwarf, said, you promised me 3 steps. Where will I take the 3rd step? I only took 2. And everything's covered. He said, there's one place you haven't stepped. I said, where's that? On my head. He put his head. And for him surrendering like that, he became a Mahajan. Mahajan, there are 12 authorities on the Vedas. Bali Maharaj is another one. So both him and Prahlad were born as demons, but they were great devotees. And because of his surrender, the Lord agreed to come and be his doorman, like a gatekeeper, standing by the door in his planet. So then after him, he says, as Parshuram, as Parshuram, Lord Parshuram, he is referred to in the song as Brigupati. Brigupati. Which verse is that? 6th verse. So, as Parshuram, you slayed all the wicked Kshatriyas. It said that he killed all the Kshatriyas on this earth 21 times. Parshuram. So he's a fierce avatar. Because the Kshatriya kings, they had, what do you call it, deviated from following the Vedas. They were the rulers, they were the kings. So Parshuram killed all of them. In the verse that glorifies him, it says, O Lord Parshuram, at Kurukshetra is where Krishna also spoke Bhagavad Gita, but long before Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, Parshuram, at this place, that's where he killed the Kshatriya kings. Said, you bathe the earth in the rivers of blood from the bodies of the demoniac Kshatriyas. And the sins of the world were washed away by you, the blood of the Kshatriyas. And because of you, people are relieved from the blazing fire of material existence. So, Krishna has an inconceivable potency. Then he says, in the form of Ram today, Lord Ramachandra, you conquered the earth with which you subdued the wicked, and you also draw the river Jamuna towards you. This pastime is in the Krishna book. Then, as Lord Buddha, you showed compassion towards all the living beings suffering in this world. Lord Buddha says, O Buddha of compassionate heart, you decried the slaughtering of poor animals, even those killed perform according to the rules of Vedic sacrifices. People have, the followers of the Vedas in India, there is provision for offering sacrifice, animal sacrifice, but they were like taking advantage of it and killing the animals to eat. And that was not allowed. So Buddha came and he preached ahimsa, non-violence. He said to eat meat, that is violence. And Lord Buddha was able to stop all killing of animals in India. This is 2,000 years ago. Then the final avatar, he is yet to come, he comes at the end of Kali Yuga. And that, he says, you appear as Kalki avatar, to bewilder the mlechas, means degraded low-class men. At the end of Kali Yuga, things will get so bad, people will be described in Srimad Bhagavatam, they'll be very short. They won't live long. Prabhupada in one lecture, he said, someone gets to live up to 30 years old, he'll be an old man. Things will change. There'll be no food, no vegetables, no fruit, no more cows. They'll become cannibals. And it'll be so bad that that's how the population on the earth will be. So the only thing to do is to kill them. And Kalki Avatar appears with a sword on a horse. And he's just chopping heads of demons. He's yet to come. He comes at the end of Kali Yuga. So a good bit of time left. 400 something thousand years. So, now we shall hear about Lord Ram from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami, he devoted 2 chapters to Lord Ram. So, in comparison to, say, Krishna, he devoted a whole canto, many chapters for Krishna, the 10th canto, just for Krishna's Rasa Leela. He devoted like 5 chapters. He really wanted to, Vyasa wanted to really, he was told by Narad Muni, just come out and tell it like it is. Because we all know he had written all the Vedas, he had written the Upanishads, Puranas, and he was feeling undone, Prabhupada said, not satisfied. And he asked his guru, Narad Muni, he says, you know, why am I feeling like this? The guru knows his disciple. So he said, yes, you've written so many wonderful books, the Puranas. No one can match the intelligence of Vyasa. He contributed so much for human society. All the Upanishads, all the Puranas, your Mahabharata, and you're still not satisfied? What could it be? And he told him, he says, it's because you haven't glorified Krishna, the Supreme, sufficiently. So if you are not satisfied, or to speak of people in general, just even by studying Vedas, they'll never be satisfied. Because you've given them recommendations to worship demigods, to perform, this is called karma kanda. Most of the Vedas is karma kanda. So that's why somebody asked, why they don't worship Krishna? Because they get sidetracked by the Vedas. Actually, the Vedas is all given pointing to Krishna, but Narad Muni says you need to come out and say, and don't beat around the bush anymore. Just come out and describe. Sit in meditation and meditate on the pastimes of Krishna and write what you see. And in his meditation, he saw Krishna's pastime. That's in the 10th canto. But here, he gives 2 chapters about Lord Ram. So first, chapter 10, pastimes of the Supreme Lord Ramachandra. So, there's a summary of it which I will read, because we don't have time to read the whole thing. This 10th chapter describes how Lord Ramachandra appeared in the dynasty of Maharaj Katvanga. It also describes the Lord's activities, telling how he killed Ravana and returned to Ayodhya, which was the capital of his kingdom. It says the son of Maharaj Katvanga was Dirgabahu, and his son was Raghu. Therefore, Lord Rama is called Raghupati. As we sang in the bhajan, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram. So, the son of Raghu was Aja, and the son of Aja was Dasarat, and Dasarat was Lord Ramachandra's father. So Raghu is the dynasty. Lord Ramachandra appeared in the dynasty of Raghu, but his father is King Dasarat. When the Lord descended into this world, in his full quadruple expansion as Lord Ramachandra, Lakshman, Bharata, Bharat, and Shatrughna, so there's quadruple, 4 incarnations appeared at the same time. Lord Ramachandra and his 3 brothers, they're all incarnations. But this is another yuga. This was in Treta Yuga, I think. It says, the great sages like Valmiki, who were actually in knowledge of the absolute truth, described his transcendental pastime. But Srila Sukadeva Goswami, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, written by Vyas, and Sukadeva Goswami is the son of Vyas, says he only describes these pastimes briefly. If you want more, you have to read the Ramayana, and that's a big book too. Anyway, Lord Ramachandra went with Vishwamitra Muni, and he killed many Rakshasas like Maricha. Then, after breaking the stout and strong bow, known as Haradhanu, the Lord married Mother Sita. It was like a test. Formerly, princesses, when they choose a husband, the king would create some test, and all the princes, all the other Kshatriya princes would come and try it. And the one who can pass the test, he gets the hand of the princess. So this one, there was this big bow, huge bow. And a few men couldn't lift it. It was so big and heavy. But Lord Ram came and he lifted it with one hand. And he strung the bow. And when he pulled it, he broke the bow. So it was obvious he's the one. So he got to marry Sita Devi. He also cut down the prestige of Lord Parshuram, the one who killed all the Kshatriyas. Lord Ram curbed his two incarnations fighting with one another. So that is all that you'll find in Bhagavatam. To obey the order of his father, Lord Ram entered the forest, accompanied by Lakshman and Sita. While there, he cut off the nose of Surpanaka. She was the sister of Ravana. She was a Rakshasa demon. And he killed the associates of Ravana, headed by Karna and Dusha. Ravana's kidnapping of Sita Devi was the beginning of his misfortune. Because he got killed by Ravana. When the demon Maricha, who was one around Ravana's men, he assumed the form of a golden deer. He had mystic power. Even the demons used to have such powers. He assumed the form of a golden deer, and Lord Ramachandra went to bring that deer back for Sita. Sita went with him in the forest. Sita and Lakshman also went with him. He was banished only to leave the kingdom, but Lakshman, his brother, said, "I'll go with you." And Sita was his wife. He had to go. So while Lord Ramachandra went to find them, to get the deer, Ravana took advantage of the Lord's absence and kidnapped Sita. When Sita was kidnapped, Lord Ramachandra, accompanied by Lakshman, searched for her throughout the forest. In the course of searching, they met Jatayu. Jatayu was a vulture. Yeah. He was a devotee. Then the Lord killed the demon Kabandhu and also the commander Bali. And he established a friendly relationship with Sugriva, head of the monkeys. After organizing a military with the strength of the monkeys, going with them to the shore of the ocean, the Lord awaited the arrival of Samudra. Samudra is the ocean personified. But when Samudra did not come, the Lord Ram, who was master of Samudra, became angry. And Samudra immediately came to the Lord in great haste and surrendered to him, wanting to help him in every way. The Lord then attempted to bridge the ocean, and with the help and advice of Bibhishan was Ravana's brother, but he had other brothers, but Bibhishan was actually a devotee, another devotee born in a demon family. So Bibhishan gave good advice to Lord Ram. So then Ram attacked the capital Lanka, which is Ravana's capital. Previously, prior to that, Hanuman, who is the eternal servant of the Lord, had set fire to Lanka. And now with the help of Lakshman and the force of all those monkeys, Ramachandra killed all the Rakshasa soldiers, and he personally killed Ravana. Mandodari, she was the chief wife of Ravana. Mandodari and other wives lamented for Ravana, and in accordance with Lord Ramachandra's order, Bibhishan performed the funeral ceremonies for all the dead in the family. Lord Ramachandra then gave Bibhishan the right to rule Lanka. He also granted him a long duration of life. The Lord then delivered Sita Devi from the Ashok forest and carried her in a flower airplane to his capital in Ayodhya. Flower airplane. When the Lord arrived in Ayodhya, he was received by his brother Bharat, and when he entered Ayodhya, Bharat brought his wooden shoes. Those are those shoes. You were wearing one of those. You've seen them. They're carved out of wood and it has a peg that sticks between your big toe and the next foot. So that's why it's a little difficult to walk in those shoes. Lord Ram used to wear them. And when he went to the kingdom, when he left the kingdom to go for the forest for 12 years, his brother Bharat put his shoes on the throne to worship him. His mother wanted him to be the king. Bharat's mother was one of the wives of Dasarat. But Bharat said, no, I'll never sit on that throne. As long as my brother Ram is alive. So he took Ram's shoes, those wooden, and he put them on the throne. And Ram's supposed to be like the emperor of the world. But his brother put the shoes there and would worship him. It says, then Bibhishan and Sugriva, who was the head of the monkeys, held a whisk, a chamara, and a fan. And Hanuman carried an umbrella, and Shatrughna carried the Lord's bow and 2 quivers. Sita Devi, she carried a water pot containing water from all the holy places. Angada, who's Angada? He carried a sword, and Jambavan carried a shield. After Lord Ramachandra, accompanied by Lord Lakshman and Mother Sita, he met with his relatives, and he met with the great sage Vishwamitra, who Vishwamitra treated him as a king. And at the end of the chapter, there's some nice says Lord Ramachandra became king or emperor during the Treta Yuga. But because of his good government, the age, Treta Yuga, was just like Satya Yuga. Everything was nice. Everyone was religious, and everyone was completely happy. Prabhupada gives a comment. He says, amongst the four yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga is the worst. We're living in the worst time. But if the process of Varnashram is introduced, even in the age of Kali, then the situation of Kali Yuga can be invoked. It can get nice again. Then Prabhupada quotes from the Bhagavatam, where the Sukadeva Goswami says, Kale doshani de rajan asti he karmat guna kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sampraparam braje. Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. He said, my dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. What is that? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Oh, so it's time to read still have more to go. Maybe we can read more this evening, I guess.
Agnideva Prabhu ki